Hey everyone, I'm Ishan Sharma, and in this video, I'll be talking about the 7 work from home jobs that you can get started with as a beginner into freelancing, and you can make decent income doing this. Now, a lot of people on YouTube like to say that, okay, you can make easy money doing this, no skills required, or things like that. That is not entirely true. What they are saying over there is that you don't need to have specific skills for these jobs. You can get started with these with having generic skills or skills that you can learn with very less time. Okay, so that's basically what they are trying to tell you when they say no skills required, but definitely there will be some skills that will be required for doing this. Okay, with that said, I'll be talking about what this skill particularly is and how can you get started with this, what is the earning potential over here from my own experience and my experience of talking with a lot of different freelancers from different niches. So that's what I'll be talking. Okay, let's get started with the first one, and this is going to be virtual assistant. Now, yesterday I had a talk with a freelancer who is a virtual assistant basically, and he is in 12th grade right now, and he made I think around $4,000 as a virtual assistant in the last 4-5 months. And he did that basically by reaching out to these people who are in Germany, who are in US, and he works for them, and he gets around $100 every single week from them, from each client. And he works for I think 3-4 clients at the same time. So what happens is that virtual assistants means that you'll be working for clients and you'll be doing some basic work for them. Let's say like scheduling meetings, booking some seats, or doing some reservations, or you can also do some particular tasks like posting something on their social media or doing things like that. A lot of people who are into business, they do not have the time to do these menial tasks, so that is why they can outsource that to you and you can help them out doing that. What is the earning potential? As I talked with him, that podcast will be coming out soon. He said that you can make around $100 every single week from a single client, and you can do that with 3 clients, and every single month you can make somewhere around $1,000 to I think $1,500 depending on what client you get. Okay, it is a great field that you can get started with if you do not have a lot of skills, and then you can try to niche down. Okay, so you can pick a particular category. Let's say you can say that I'll be your social media manager VA, or I'll be your tech VA, right? So the tech VA basically takes care of the technology side of things. Let's say you have like a website, let's say you want to upload something, let's say you want to do some email marketing and things like that. So that is where that comes into picture. So this is VA, huge potential that you can get from this. Moving on to the second one, this is called as Canva designing. Okay, so what you can do with Canva is really interesting. Usually if you were to get started with graphic design, you would have to download Photoshop or something really expensive that would require a lot of effort, and it is quite confusing as well for beginners. But if you start with Canva, this would be a great way for you to learn graphic design and make some simple posts. You do need to have the skill of understanding what makes good design good. So for that, I think there is a great free course from Google that is available. I'll be linking that in the description. You can take that course. It's for free, and you'll be able to learn about how you can get started with graphic design. Okay, so that being said, Canva designing is really good. You can be like a content creator for a lot of different companies, and you can basically just say that, hey, I will create content for your Instagram, or hey, I will create content for your email newsletter, for the pictures that they require, or for your blogs, things like that. You can tell them, and this would be a great way for you to get started with freelancing. I have made a video talking about how can you get started with Canva and Fiverr as a freelancer. That would be up here. You can check that out if you are interested. Okay, so this is the second skill that you can learn, and you can get started with that. Now, for all of these skills, you do need to have one very important skill. That is the skill of negotiating. That is the skill of talking with your client. Okay, how do you pitch your client? That is where you need to be good at communicating yourself, and that is where you can use Cambly for learning communication. Cambly is a great place where you can go to do one-on-one sessions with tutors who are experienced communicators in English. A lot of freelancers, I would say 80% of freelancers are not good at communicating themselves, and that is why they do not get their gig, or that is why they do not get their client. Here is a conversation that I just had with a tutor on Cambly, and you can decide for yourself if you like it or not. I feel that, let's say whenever I'm like talking to someone that I haven't talked to before, I start stammering at times.
You've taken the right approach really by letting me know, and then that immediately cuts the nerves.
Yeah.
That's always the best advice. Let the person know.
So yeah, that is the Cambly app. There'll be a link in the description that you can go to, and you can get a 25% discount on the Cambly subscription. Moving on to the third one, this will be called as transcription, and I have personal experience with something like this. I just hired someone for my subtitles of these videos, and the way this works is that I would just give them the video saying that, hey, this is the video that I'll be putting out tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and their job is to basically look at the, just like hear whatever I am saying and convert that into text and put in the timestamps as well, right? So whatever I'm saying, they'll just write it down, and that is called as transcription. Now, this will not pay you a lot, and that is basically because unless you are getting like some really great clients that you're working with, let's say in the US, you're working with some big businesses and they have some courses that they want you to transcribe, then you won't be making much money. Okay, so that's basically the reality of transcription. It's great like a side hustle that you can just do every single day for I think 2 hours, 3 hours. The way this works is very simple. You would charge for the minute, right? So for every single minute of the video that you are transcribing into written text, you will be asking them, let's say around $1 per minute or $2 per minute, something like that you ask. Okay, now if you go into US, you can charge a lot more. You can charge like I think around $5 or $10 per minute. That is also possible. All right, so this is the third skill that you can get started with. The fourth one would be called as tutoring. So I'm assuming that a lot of you are in college and you have been through your school years and you have a particular subject that you like to talk about. That can be mathematics, biology, English. You can then start teaching that to the students. This would be great for you because you'll be charging for the every single class that you'll be taking for them. You can do two things over here. Number one would be to get to them by just like calling neighbors around your locality, and you can just say ki, hey, if you want me to teach your kids, if you want me to just clear their doubts, you can hire me and I'll be charging around 500 rupees every single class. That is completely possible. You can do that, and you can do that for let's say 5 kids or let's say 10 kids you can get, and that is how you can make some great money as a teacher by teaching them what you already have learned. You don't have to learn anything new. Just the things that you liked in your school, you can now start teaching that as well. So that's what you can do as a tutor. There is also online platforms available. Let's say there is something called as Check that you can go to, and over there you can just like clear people's doubts and you'll get paid for every single question that you answer. So that is what tutoring is all about. Okay, moving on, we have content writing. Now I just did a podcast with someone who makes around 3 crore every single year as a Fiverr freelancer, and she's in the content writing niche. She has been doing that for over 7 years now, so definitely you cannot compare with what she is doing right now, but you can definitely start off as a content writer. Maybe you're doing ghost writing for some articles, or maybe you're also writing some product descriptions on some e-commerce websites, or you're also trying to write ebooks for people, right? So a lot of people want their ebooks to be written. They are not so great at writing. There's a lot of scope over here. I have done 2 interviews with content writers, I think 3 interviews. I'll be linking all of them in the description. You can check that out and you'll be able to learn from that. So the next part would be social media management. So as a social media manager, you would basically be uploading some content on their own Instagram page or on their Facebook, on their LinkedIn, on their TikTok, or on their whatever social media platform you are on, and you'll be managing it. You'll try to increase the engagement. You'll try to do some partnerships with other pages, and you'll try to grow it basically. Okay, so that's where social media management comes into picture, and it is a great field that you can get started with. It depends on what company you are working for, and that will determine how much you'll get paid. I was doing a internship in a startup, and over there I was getting paid I think 5,000 per month, which is really low, and that is why I left that internship. But you can work for some great companies. If you search for like US companies or companies abroad, you can find some great ones over there. All right, now this is somewhat similar to VA, but this is like a niche VA that you can go into. You can have a category and you can start working over there. All right, if you've been enjoying this video so far, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. I make a lot of other content about freelancing, and that can be really beneficial for you. Now the last skill that you can get started with is called as drop servicing. What happens to the drop servicing agent is that you are good at communication. You will get in touch with a client and you will try to take a project from them. The project can be, let's say they want to get about 100 videos edited, or let's say they want to create posts for their social media, or whatever service they want to get, and then what you do is that you outsource that to some other freelancer and you make the difference. It's also called as arbitrage, in which you are getting paid, let's say 100 rupees, you are giving someone 80 rupees to do the same thing and you're making the 20 rupees. This is not exactly freelancing, but this is also something that you can start doing. But yeah, that's what I would say. I have seen a lot of people doing this, so this is something that you can definitely do. You do need to be great at communicating yourself. You do need to be great at telling people that you are capable of doing something, and then afterwards you can definitely outsource it to other people. Alright, so that's pretty much it. These were the 7 skills that you can learn and you can get started with at your home without going anywhere. Remote work is the future, and I want you to understand this huge opportunity available for you. My playlist is a great source for you to get started with. It's called as the freelancing playlist. I'll link that in the description. Over there you can go through every single interview that I've done with people who are into graphic designing, who are into video editing, who are into VA. That video is also coming, and a lot of other interviews are there, so you can check that out if you are interested. That is pretty much it. Thank you for joining me for this video. I hope you got to learn something from this. You can also follow me on Instagram at ishansharma7390, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, comment below and let me know what are your thoughts about these jobs. Would you be doing any one of these, or if you have already done them, then what has your experience been like? Alright, that is it. I will see you all in the next video.